What is up? Back with another video. Okay, so we watched a couple more of the TJR Bootcamp videos. We can talk a little bit about them, but I think I'm mostly just going to talk about some things I've had on my mind. Some of it concerning the bootcamp videos. So first of all, I think I've learned a lot from the videos. I think they've been super helpful, and I think for understanding the basics and just to develop my own strategy, they've been great, and I'm going to continue watching them. I do, however, think they're starting to become less helpful as I go on. I think he's also talking about it, how the videos are going to get shorter as they go on. And the reason being is because he's already talked about all the building blocks and all the strategy and things like that. And so now he's just going to be explaining the little details. And so one of the videos I watched from him was just talking about how that's the case and how he wants to keep doing the videos, but they're not going to be as big as they were. So I think because of that, my videos are going to become less about his bootcamp videos and more about just my thoughts and my trades and things like that. With that being said, I do want to talk about what has been on my mind recently. As you guys know, I've got a new job and I love it. It's still work, it still makes me tired, but I'm really grateful for it. I get paid a lot better, I have a lot more hours, my schedule's really flexible, and I work really hard, My pay reflects my hard work. I get paid on commission, and so the better I do, the more I get. And the reason I bring that up is because I think hard work is such an important thing to learn. And it's not something you're born with, it's something you're taught. And I think a lot of that has to do with how you grow up, is if you're comfortable being uncomfortable, if you're willing to put yourself out there and work hard. But I also don't think that hard work alone is what makes a successful person. And recently I heard this quote again that I've heard before, and it says, if hard work made you successful, the donkey would own the farm, which is such a stupid little saying, but it's so true, because no one's working harder than the donkey, but the donkey doesn't own the farm, the farmer does. And so there's a lot of different aspects that go into becoming successful, not just hard work. And right now I'm just learning about trading and I'm wanting to become successful in that area. But I think there are so many different avenues to become successful, and so many people have different definitions on what success is. Of course, with the goals we're talking about within this channel, financial success is the primary focus, but I don't think that a financially successful person is necessarily successful in life. If you want to be successful in life, I think that comes down to fulfillment. If you're fulfilled at the end of the day, if by the time you die, you can look back at your life and you can be happy with what you've accomplished, with who you've met, with what you've created. And for me, that looks like having a family, having a wife. And of course, I want to be financially successful. I think that's a huge part of it for me, but it's because I want to support them. I want to sustain my type of lifestyle that I want. Being religious, I also have to take into account what God wants. If I'm aligning my will with His, and with the financial freedoms and with the happiness that I have, how can I use that to do His work? How can I use that to bless others and to show God's light in their lives? And for me, that's really fulfilling. That's one of the most exciting works we can do, and it's another part of being successful in my opinion. And I think right now there's just so much evidence that financial success alone does not create a successful life. And we've been seeing that all over recently with such evil and corrupt people who have so much worldly power and riches, but of course they're not successful people. I would never consider those people successful because they're corrupt. And at the end of the day, they're going to have to stand in front of God and they're going to have to be judged. And I don't think that makes them successful at all. If anything, that'll make them the least successful people in history. So really, when it comes down to it, is fulfillment, aligning our will with God's, and joy. But that's just my random thoughts that I've been having recently. But that's everything I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the support, and I will see you guys tomorrow.